Hello everybody, welcome to the 5 Minutes PM podcast. Today, I like to continue discussing the types of links between the tasks. Last week, I discussed about the finish to start and the start to start relationship, and I discussed also these physical requirements among the links and the strategic requirements. The tasks that you link because it's good for you, because you have a benefit, not necessarily a physical need. Today I want to discuss the two left. Finish to finish and start to finish. What is a finish to finish relationship? A finish to finish relationship, it's exactly the opposite of a start to start relationship. Finish to finish is when I need to finish the predecessor to finish the successor. It's most of the time a strategic link. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose that you have a task, a predecessor, that is selling the apartments. Let's suppose that your project is to build and sell building, okay, a set of apartments. So you have a task selling the apartments. Then you have a successor called advertise the apartments. Then you may decide, okay, I will finish the advertisement only when I finish the selling. Until I have some apartments to sell, I need to continue and wait doing the advertisement. So this is one quick example. You notice that it's not so common and it's not so easy to find cases where you need to do that. So let's suppose that you have a predecessor that is build a house and a successor that is clean the area. You can only finish the cleaning of the area when you finish the construction of the house. So this is a good example of a finish-to-finish relationship. The last one is the most uncommon. It's rarely used. It's called a start-to-finish. And it's very strange, even physically. One needs to start so the other can finish. So the predecessor needs to start so the successor can finish. So if you look this graphically, you may think, okay, this is the same of finish to start, changing the predecessor to the successor and the successor to the predecessor. Wrong. In the drawing is the same, but in the concept is very different. If you go back to my last week podcast, when I explained that predecessor is the task that has the trouble that you need to focus. If you shift this, it will be very, very challenging. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose that you just bought a new computer and you have your old one. Your old one is working, it's perfect. It's not so fast, but it's perfect, it's working. And then you need to do the transition. So you may link in two ways. First link, you may say, okay, I need to unplug and turn off the old computer so I can start configuring the new one. Then it's quite easy. You just plug your old computer from the wall and what will happen? You'll be in trouble because you will not have computer until the new one is done. But let's shift this. I want that the new computer start working. Then I can terminate and finish the old computer. So look, when I shift to this, to the start to finish relationship, my focus is now on the new computer and not on the old one. So every time you need to replace machines, you need to do any kind of replacement, this is a useful link. But to be honest with you, this is a link that I do not use quite often. And why I do not use this quite often? It's because if you change the English, if you change the concept and the way you write, you can easily turn a start to finish into a finish to start. So let's suppose the same problem with the computers, okay? But now I will rewrite the same problem. I will put first task, configure the new computer. Second task, test the new computer. Third task, turn off the old computer. If I write and use proper English to do that, what will happen? I will transform the start to finish tasks into a finish to start task. Easily. Very easy and very smooth. So most of the time, when you are triggered to this kind of tasks, think about ways of rewriting it to transform them into a finish to start. This is much easier. So of course, at the end, when you are calculating the critical path, most of the time you need to understand if it's a physical or a logic relationship. And don't try to complicate your schedule. Do you know your project already has a problem? It's always a challenge. Don't transform your project into two problems, because people need to look to the schedule and clearly see the problem and try to find the solutions. But if they look your schedule and they cannot see and understand even what you are saying, then you have two problems. Keep it simple. This is what I tell everybody all the time. Keep it simple. It's much easier to fix your English or your Portuguese or whatever than try to create very complex case. I don't recall the last time I used it start to finish. And why I'm explaining you this so you can understand, because if someone shows you this kind of relationship, you are aware of how this works, and maybe you can suggest tweaks on that to make it simple. The good and real schedule, it's the simple one. This is what makes a real difference. I hope you enjoy this podcast and see you next week with another 5 Minutes PM podcast.